Reiss Nelson looks like he may be leaving Arsenal yet again. Let's get into this. Yes, as reported by Sammy Mockbell, I think it was Sammy Mockbell, he has said that Reiss Nelson is subject to interest yet again from Fulham Football Club. Now look, for me, Reiss Nelson's just one of those players that, I don't know whether you guys get this, right? You have a player that may not necessarily be at the forefront of the team or the manager's selection and all the rest of it. May not even be a fan favourite, but is a player that you can see the potential in and you would love to see them flourish at your football club. Reiss Nelson is that for me. I think he's a very talented footballer, but it's just never really clicked at Arsenal in the way that we've hoped it to. So to see him potentially leave the club, I think would be a good thing for all parties. We're clearly not looking at him as an option in the winger positions. And for him, he's 25 years old. He needs to go somewhere where he can get regular first team football and just, flourish in his own career. Now, the only problem to the report that I see is that at the moment, it looks like it's for a loan deal. And this is why it's a problem. For one, we are being told that Arsenal are not necessarily done yet when it comes to transfer business, with Eze being linked, the possibility of Rodrigo if that can happen. So we need to make sales in order to facilitate more transfers into this team. But not just that, we do need to find a permanent solution for Reiss Nelson. But it's not so cut and dry when it comes to his situation with Arsenal and his career at the moment. See, the problem you have is that, yes, he's a 25-year-old winger that, last season he was getting on okay and then picked up a big injury. So to demand a transfer fee for someone like him would be a very difficult thing for the club to do. So you can make sense of a loan deal being proposed because at the end of the day, he's only had half a season with Fulham last season and he doesn't have that much value built in terms of the amount of football he's played over the past 2 seasons to maybe warrant a transfer fee or a big transfer fee. I think the best way around it would be if we could get a loan with an obligation or option for Fulham, maybe some clauses performance based that would mean that they would have to take the player on. I think that long term would sort us out, and also in the accounting period that we're looking at from July to July next year, that would be something that could work for the club in terms of enabling spending right now. But look, like I said, Reiss Nelson is a player that I do have time for, and it's a shame that it's not worked out at Arsenal for him. But look, I want him to flourish in his career, and like I said, he's a player that I enjoy to watch. But look, as always, these are just my opinions on Reiss Nelson being linked back with Fulham. Football is nothing but opinions, and I want to know what your opinions are on this transfer right there in the comments.